Hi, Sagittarius. Welcome to your October 2015 Tarotscope. It's Raina here, and I am a Sagittarius, so I'm doing this for all of us. And it's going to be an interesting time because there's so much 10th house activity. Virgo is our 10th house, and of course, again, this is a general reading and it's not going to be accurate for everyone because of the unequal houses and the different degrees and blah 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 that we have for each of our houses. So, if you want a personal reading that combines your birth data plus a personal tarot spread, you can click on the link below. I offer on demand monthly readings that you can pick the 30-day period and also love readings and other stuff. And so that's that. And in terms of all this career activity, this may manifest in different ways. For some people, this could be a job promotion. For other people, it's just things are building in that area. And still others, it might be that you decide to venture off in your own business that you've been meaning to do, and it seems like a great time to get started. And of course, we do have the Mercury retrograde happening until the 9th of the month. And so, in terms of starting new endeavors, it's always advised to wait until after the retrograde period. And some people even go as far as the shadow period that follows, but we can at least say the 9th. And that's obviously your call, but I just wanted to put it out there. Venus will be entering the sector as well. Venus has been in the ninth house. And so it's been a very good time for anything related to higher learning or some course of studies that you have embarked upon, but also related to philosophy and things of that nature, foreign travel, foreigners. And so when it goes into the 10th house, then you are charming to other people and they take notice of you, and that can also assist in any career matters, especially if you're looking for work. This is really handy to have because it gives you that special something that you might not have at other times. And Mars is in the 10th house as well, and this is a very driven kind of an energy. You may feel more motivated than usual to be ambitious regarding your career. Just be careful, as always, not to overdo it because Mars has a tendency to steamroll over things. Because Mars has a tendency to steamroll over things. Saturn is in our sign. So, how does that play out? Well, I think it's possible that we will be taken more seriously in terms of how other people perceive us, because remember that the first house is how we present ourselves to the world, appearance wise and the like. And Sagittarius is kind of a fly by the seat of their pants kind of sign, happy go lucky, that sort of thing. And sometimes people don't give a lot of credit to us because they think we're kind of overgrown children or flaky, maybe even because we really value freedom over possessions and obligations and that sort of thing. And we kind of shy away from those areas. Even when we do have families, even when we do have children, we kind of are ambivalent about all of that because we're worried about losing our freedom. But that doesn't mean that Sagittarians don't start families or get married legally and that sort of thing. They do, or even have long term jobs, careers. It's just that there's always this nagging feeling in the back of our minds that we're going to not be able to be who we are. So I think that with Saturn's influence, it just makes us a little bit more grounded, a little bit more serious about the direction that we are taking. Remember that the first house is the beginning of a new cycle. So it's actually very exciting, if you can, consciously be aware of the fact that Saturn is in Sagittarius, you can work with it better. The other thing is that people are always so afraid of Saturn as if it's some negative influence. But the fact that it's in Sagittarius, I think, really modifies some of that severity that we might associate with it. So I do believe that when it was in Scorpio, it was a lot more of a heavy energy, not just because it was a water sign, but because Scorpio is co ruled by two quite heavyweight planets, Mars and Pluto. So both of those influences can really kind of turned us inside out, all of us. And I think that right now we're really kind of on a good run here. And the fact that we have Jupiter for a whole year in the 10th house just kind of adds to this feeling of mine. So, for what that's worth, and have I covered? No, I did not say the new moon is in Libra on the 12th of the month at 19 degrees Libra. This is the 11th house. These could be new connections with groups and any kind of new friendships that are made or new developments in this area, but also hopes and wishes, which is really cool because if you have a vision for yourself, and this could vary from Sagittarian to Sagittarian, but this might be the time to cash in your chips here. I mean, this might be some kind of wonderful development that is like Christmas in October, and I don't want to build it up that way and make it seem like it's going to happen for everyone that way. But the 11th house is the house of hopes and wishes. And depending on how much you really want something, maybe that is whether or not it manifests at this time. But I just like that. Maybe this is a time to set intentions for what you really, really want. And with Saturn in our sign, it might actually be brought into earth plane reality, 3D reality. And this is also a great time for developments in friendships, for developments with groups, if there are networking opportunities that will help you advance in your career or even for your hobbies, because the fifth and the 11th house oppose one another, and the fifth house is of hobbies. But the 11th house may be the place where you find the people that kind of are on the same page with you. So this might be a wonderful time for that as well. And then the full moon on the 27th is at 3 degrees of Taurus, and this is the sixth house of health, daily routines, the workplace, your coworkers, that sort of thing. If you need a healing, this would be a great meditation for the full moon. There could be something that comes to your attention regarding your workplace, your coworkers, maybe actually increases your workload. And this isn't a bad thing. This could increase your income as well. It's just that it depends on whether or not you like what you do, I guess, right? But it's a great time, to do a health cleanse. It's a great time to look at your health, see where you need to change your habits, and to make necessary adjustments. You might even want to go in for alternative healing, such as massage or Reiki. I briefly attended massage school for 1 week, and there's a type of massage called Tui Na. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it correctly. TUI, and then NA is a separate word. So these kinds of things can be helpful at this time in order to balance yourself physically. And with Saturn in the first house, it's going to be a great time to work on your physical body in general, reshape it, change it. Wow, this is too freaky, Sagittarius. I picked 4 cards for the month, and the first two represent the first half. And it's so funny, and then the second two are the second half. And it was so weird because two of the cards out of the four were cards I was just thinking about, earlier today. And actually, I'll talk about the Four of Swords when I get to the second half of the month, but the Ace of Pentacles is what I was thinking about because I was thinking about this gift that comes from above. The universe stepping in and providing Sagittarius with some sort of blessing in a material way. And this is what is indicated for the first half of October. And the accompanying card is the Knight of Wands, which is a fiery energy and an enthusiastic energy to the point of like overconfidence if you don't watch out. But there might be something that makes you totally giddy, and it might have to do with some money that you are given. And why you would be given money will vary from person to person, but it's definitely an energy that can buoy your spirits and make you feel like you're on top of the world. And the only thing is to make sure that you're kind of grounded. And for the second half of the month, I got the Eight of Cups in reverse, which is a card of kind of reflecting on the habitual patterns that kind of bind you in an emotional way. And so it's looking at relationships, some of which may be draining you and not providing you with the nourishment that you need to live a life that's on purpose. And this is coupled with the Four Swords. So these are two cards of reflection, and that was the other card I had been thinking of because I was thinking of how the sun will be going into our 12th house. And then, when other of these fast moving planets go into Scorpio, we will be experiencing them being in the 12th house as well. So it's really a reflection time in that second half of the month. And I love the fact that I got those two cards for that period. And if you're feeling that you're stuck in some relationship, then you can stay tuned for the love reading that I post every month. And you can also get a personal reading, and you can also get a personal love reading as well. But so stay tuned in the near future for my love reading, and take care, you guys. Bye.